Michaels.
And I'm Jessica Wellington.
What we do here at the Liars Club is we have two of our comedy pals come on. We ask them to tell two stories. One is the truth, one is a lie, and then we try to figure out which one is a lie. For you people that are listening out in podcast land, please understand that you can come play live with us.
Play along. Ask questions.
Ask questions. And
call bullshit.
Yes, call bullshit. We go live every Monday at 4:30 and most Fridays at 8:30. Today, sitting in for my lovely host is co-host is Jayson Thibault. Please
Hi,
give
guys.
it up for
Glad
Jayson
to be
Thibault.
back. As playing Jessica Wellington, you'll be glad to know my tooth is much better.
Okay.
And I am off psychedelic drugs to cure a
She
toothache.
was so fucked up on that podcast.
That was crazy.
That was fun. And sitting right over here next to me is our on-air producer, Austin Walker. And Austin...
Austin Skywalker.
Thank you.
And our other on-air producer is sitting in the booth, Mr. Michael Evans. There you go. And Austin, will you please introduce our guest?
I would love to. Across from me, this gentleman is a talented musician, an all-around funny character actor. Not you too, so you are too. But
my bad.
You may know him from his debut album Reagan and Watkins, or you might see him every Monday night on Kill Tony right here at the Comedy Store or across the United States. He is Jeremiah Watkins.
Yes.
Across the world. About to go to Australia.
Yes.
Hello.
G'day, mate.
Yes, who should be on SNL. Continue.
Oh,
Will be.
Yes.
instead of those racists.
Bastards. Next to me, this fella is a titan of podcasting.
Thank
when
you.
a podcast needs to get off the ground, they call this man Felicia. This is the guy.
No reflection on this podcast.
The
Well,
Podfather.
you never know. Yeah.
The Podfather.
The Podfather, if you will.
The
very
fix-a-flats of podcasts.
He's the founder of the Death Squad. Shout out Death Squad Calgary, who I know tunes in from time to time. Co-host and co-creator of Kill Tony, and of course, the Joe Rogan Experience. This is Mr. Brian Redban.
Hi.
Yes, Brian Redban.
I'm glad you keep the ginger in the other room.
Yes.
The AAA of AA.
Yes.
We actually found out today that he's not completely ginger.
Oh, he's lying to you.
I'm trans ginger.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, here we go.
That joke again.
I know.
9
He's
times
told
we
us
ran that
all
by me and
joke.
Brian.
He's told us all that joke. You know, we're just going to jump right into it,
Do
I
it.
think. And I think Brian Redban should go first to tell the story.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. This is harder for me than normal because
I
I've known
apologize for that.
Thibault for almost 15 years. I've done over
know.
500 hours of podcasts with
Hours,
this guy.
not podcasts. Hours.
Yeah, hours.
Yeah.
And so I really had to dig deep for my truth story.
To think of a story I had
And
never
so,
heard.
to the point, if I start telling whatever my truth story is, you have to interrupt me and go, no, I already heard this, and I have a backup one.
Do you really want that? You want me to say, no,
yeah,
I already
yes,
know where this goes,
because
and then you're going to switch your story?
Honestly, I already had 5 stories, and I had to drop them because
so if
I'm like,
know
I know
it,
he knows
you
this.
want me to say,
Yes,
I
I
know
want you
this,
to
and then
stop
you're
me.
going to
I want
switch
you-
your story.
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
Oh, wow. This is a first.
All right.
And I will honor that.
Okay.
The fortitude.
So.
I already know this story.
So I got my first computer when I was really young. My dad taught me how to build computers, and it was like a 386 or whatever. So I was like AOL #1.
What year is this in your life?
This is college, so I'm guessing I'm 19, like what, 95, 96.
Okay.
And AOL 1 just came out, and I think this was around AOL 1 or 2. American Online used to be a internet provider or whatever. And they used to have this thing called member directory. And this just shows you how different privacy used to be. Member directory used to be where you could type in your address and it showed all the users that are around you. So like it showed their address and it showed their pictures.
Are you serious? The address too?
Yeah, it showed everything. And you used to be able to like send them direct messages like, hey, I see you're online right now. I live right down the street from you. Like It was like that shit. But I used it because I was a little horny single guy. And I would flirt with anyone that was like hot around me. And I ended up hooking up with like a girl down the street from me. Like
You're about 16 in your life. How old are you?
No, I'm like 20.
Oh, shit, way over. Okay.
22, something like that.
Yeah.
23. And I would like, like there's one girl, like she lived down the street from me, and we started chatting, and then I just like threw it out there, like we should fuck or something stupid like that. And I like went to her house.
The
old classic, we should fuck.
Yeah, well, I don't.
They don't go by standard.
I probably didn't do it like that.
Not,
but
what are you wearing first? Just we should fuck.
No, it was. I remember being really good at it, like finding like single girl, because it would say you're single. It showed everything about you.
Wow.
And I remember there was one girl, I came to her house and we pretty much didn't even, like, she just opened the door and then we started talking for a little bit and we just went right upstairs and fucked, and I fucked her like maybe 5 times. And I ended up fucking like
5 times in one.
No, like 5 times. Like, no.
That's a legit question.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's a
Fair enough.
And so I ended up like sleeping with, I think, about maybe like 6 girls that lived within a half mile of me.
In what period of time?
I'd probably say like a year.
So
and a
you were
half.
like, you invented Tinder in a way.
Pretty much. There was nothing like that. There was no.
This person is within 2 miles of your place.
More like Grindr.
Yeah. Back then, there was nothing like that. To the point, there was this one girl that I was having sex with, and she had this website. I want to say it was called MChat, or it was something where it had webcams, and we used to like have sex on the webcam. And
people could watch?
And people could watch and
Does
comment.
that still exist online?
I don't think so.
Wait,
I don't
you
even
better
know
hope
if
it doesn't.
And I don't even remember if it's called MChat. But I remember we used to have straight up sex with, like, it was like what.
But could people record you guys having sex?
Back then, there was no technology like
okay.
that. Maybe if they had like a VHS camera or something like that, they could
Right.
record it or something. There was one time where like it was the hottest chick ever. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go pick her up. She lived down the street from me and she wanted to come to my house. I told my roommate, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go pick up this hot chick. And I showed like beautiful blonde hair and everything. And I pull up and I saw her. And then I saw this like fatter woman like eclipse her, and she started walking to my car. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? And it was her roommate. She used her roommate's picture, and this fat chick got like, I'm talking real fat. I'm talking like
catfish.
I'm talking like 250 pounds. And she was going to my car. I couldn't just kick her out of my car, right? So then I take her back, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to
Couldn't fit her
do.
in her car, apparently.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So like we get back to my place, and I just remember my roommate laughed, and he went up. He like, have fun, like, and I'm like, fuck you. And then we just got super wasted. Fucked her though. It was one of the best sex I ever had. It was my only time I ever had sex with like that big of a woman, and it was great because there was so much skin and boob and and it was wet. It was great. I came like in 2 seconds. But anyways,
Jesus.
but it got really weird because I would see all these like every time I went to the grocery store, I was like, oh god, there she is, to the point because I only was fucking people around me,
there she is, throwing 10
yeah.
boxes of Twinkies into her cart.
Wow.
But yeah, and I did that for a while, like, and then they ended up changing it where I think they didn't let you search by address or whatever.
How did you guys dissipate your relationship? How did you guys?
They were all just hookups. Like none of them were. Any of them were.
So you only
none
hooked
of them
up with
were
her
dates.
one time.
That girl, I dropped her off that night. I drove her drunk back to her place.
I would
and
have
was
seen
like,
that at Del Taco.
No, and but the one girl I like fucked like 5 times. There was a few that I would like have sex all the time with, but
Did
that's
you ever
how I was
date
getting
anybody
laid.
from that?
No, I didn't actually.
Quickly online, Darkstar had a prediction early on in Redban's story and said, prediction, both of Redban's stories will contain human fluids. I said, so far you're pretty much heading in the right direction.
100% right.
The next one is going to involve brown fluids, I promise.
Well, here's the thing. It's like when you do online dating, although that was pre-online dating, pretty much, right? You never
by
fuck-
5 years.
No such thing
Yeah.
By
as
5 years.
Match.com.
Yeah.
There's no such
You-
thing as
you
anything.
never
like
fuck
that.
within your zip code.
That was before
everybody
apps.
knows
Yeah,
that.
That was before
Yeah,
apps.
Yeah.
So
Zip code.
That was before cell phones.
No, I'm serious.
I had a
I'm
pager
serious.
at this time.
You got a page.
She was sending self-addressed stamped envelopes.
Now
They were
be
like, hey,
honest.
come.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
No,
didn't
go.
know.
Be honest.
But be honest. When you were at the grocery store and you saw those ladies, do you think those ladies were like, "Oh, it's Brian," or you think they were like?
I don't think they saw me, honestly. I and it only happened once. I remember seeing somebody like, and I was with. I think at that time I started dating somebody, and I saw him like, oh my god, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
My girlfriend cannot know about my
This will kick over my
AOL
sandcastles. Yeah.
fuck fest that I did for like a year.
The lady comes around the corner in one of those motorized cars like, Brian, why don't you return my calls?
And he got a boner
Pages,
right
my
there.
pages. Back then it was just pages.
Yeah.
So Teeb, you
I paid you 911.
so Teeb, you had never heard this story before.
I've never heard that story before.
Oh,
We do
good.
have folks
Because-
chiming in online saying
Okay,
that they
let's hear
have
what-
heard this story.
I've never heard that story
Oh,
before.
really?
Ken Lofgren said that Redban told this story years ago, and Pin12345 confirms by saying, "Yee." So it's pretty much all but confirmed by two people that this story has
Maybe.
been told before.
I didn't know you're using you should have told me you were using
social
on
interactions.
social media.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have any idea. If
Are
I
you
knew
telling your
social
two
media,
closers
that's why
today?
because I think I did tell this story a long time ago.
They're my two closers. We'll see who thinks I'm lying.
Wow.
All right.
Should tell you
All
guys
right,
should
one
maybe
more.
tell people like the rules and stuff.
I mean, Google is alive.
Yeah, you said you watched the show, Brian.
Once.
I know, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Do you want to take a stab at another story? You stick by that story.
So I used to date a girl. This is back in Ohio.
Is this the first person to tell 3 stories?
I used to date a girl, and she worked at an adult bookstore. And this is like Ohio adult bookstore where they rented videos, like porns and stuff like that. But one
VHS.
VHS.
Yeah.
And when I dated her, she said that this person used to come in and bring like their own videos. Like the video store would like rent these videos out, but they would buy them locally. So they would have like normal porn videos, like Hustler and stuff like that. But they would also have like local videos,
Like
that,
amateur-
it was
Amateur local porn.
I guess it was amateur, but it was VHS. Blah blah blah. And
Real Housewives of Columbus, Ohio.
right. And she used to do those videos also, and so like she would
The girl you were dating?
Yeah, and she would tell me like, hey, I would love you to like do these videos with me. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But she's like, you could always wear a disguise. And I can't tell you what the disguise is.
Hamburger.
And I can't tell you I can't tell you the name. I can't tell you the name of the video. Also.
Hamburger helper glove.
Hamburger helper.
Hamburger helper.
Just a box of it.
Make a great meal.
I can't tell you the name of the video either because like a couple years ago, I actually saw one of these videos on eBay. And so I can't tell you the name of the video and I can't tell you what my disguise is because
Schindler's Fist.
I've searched my name
Yeah.
with what I did disguise and it came up because I did like 12 of these videos.
When did you
with
search
her.
that?
12
When did you
of them?
with
When did you search
12.
that? When did you?
The last I searched it was about a day ago because I knew I was coming on this and I was thinking of doing this video and it didn't come up. But what did come up was my name and what my disguise was. So I have to change that part. I have to change the part of the disguise and I can't tell you what the name of the video is. You can't right now buy it, but there was a past eBay that actually has it in it. And I was dumb enough to use my full name in it on the video. But this is VHS only. This never made it to DVD. This was only, I think, in Columbus, Ohio.
Coming
and
to Kill Tony this Monday.
Yeah. And I had it, so I
yeah.
had a disguise on, and I actually did one of the videos after I got my tattoo, and you could see my tattoo in like one of the last videos. And then I was
So you
like,
said you did it 12 times.
about 12 times. I think it was 12 times.
Did you use the same disguise every time, or did you
Yes,
switch
yes,
it
it
up?
was the same disguise. And what was cool is that the girl I was dating let me fuck her friends. Like she was in the video and her friends in the video.
That's an
And there
interesting
was-
detail. That's a detail
And
that.
there was one video where one of the other girls' boyfriends was in the video also, and that was like I was like, I'm never doing that again. We can't have another guy in this video ever again. So I only
He
did
was
one of
dressed like
those.
a fry guy.
And we never did anything, but he was in the room, and I just remember how horrible it was seeing like another guy in there. I just hated
Why?
that.
What were the cameras on? Like stilts, or was there a camera person?
There was
or-
there was 2 cameras. And it was just straight up old school VHS cameras, and they weren't even like the quality is really
But they
bad.
were on tripods.
Tripods,
Okay.
yes.
All right, because it'd be weird if there was some guy like
And-
with a camera over his shoulder.
Right.
Like,
It's still weird with a
And-
tripod. I'm not gonna lie.
And the place we recorded at was really weird because the producers, whatever, there was like 3 older men that would just sit there and watch the whole thing.
That's my job now.
Like they
That's what I
pretty
do
much
now.
just.
Yeah.
It was creepy as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
and looking back at it, I looked at before I did the show, I went on Facebook to find those people,
Uh-huh.
and I found one of them on Facebook, and it's
How are things going for that person?
yeah, it's they don't look the same anymore. Like really normal looking.
So, what do you think? Does anybody say anything online about that, Austin?
Leah's taking notes. VHS, Columbus, Ohio. Very important facts. Melody Martinez is back joining us live.
Welcome,
welcome back, Melody. But other than that, everybody was very excited that we got the second story and that we weren't foiled.
Because maybe
sounds like a lot of people heard your first story on stage.
No, maybe my girlfriend is throwing some eggs out at you.
You know what's interesting? Here's what I find interesting. When you first started telling your first story, you very rarely looked up, and you looked like down and forward. And so that story is true. And then on this story, you were very relaxed of where you looked. So I'm very curious.
Should we throw
if
away
that's a
the first story?
What a strategy.
Hey,
that
I'm
would
just
be.
saying there was
Yeah,
saying there's a reason why I asked for the link, because I maybe threw a little.
You maybe
want to
make this show 2.5 hours instead of 1.
No, maybe I'm throwing some.
You're saying you're planting the commenters? Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
I guess
The grass is greener in his yard.
needed the link, guys. That's all.
All right, Jeremiah, it's your turn.
All right. We'll start with this one. I had this
girlfriend that worked at a porn shop.
I
used to be a woman and I worked at a porn shop.
So I used to work at this adult bookstore.
My boyfriend was a liar.
Yeah. So I used to have this teddy bear. I still have this teddy bear.
Oh my God! What a left turn from I used to have a teddy bear to my girlfriend worked at a porn shop. And
Okay, so you had a teddy bear.
I had this teddy bear. I still have this teddy bear. His name is Little Bear, and this was like maybe around the same time as that cartoon was big or whatever. But anyway, there was a zipper on the back of this bear, and what I would do is I would, like as you're developing as a teenager.
what
yes.
age are you right there when you have the teddy bear?
When
What
did you
age
get the
are
teddy
you?
bear?
Yeah.
I had it since I was born. So I
Oh my gosh!
yeah.
Oh, I don't like where this is fucking going.
I kind of do.
Since you were
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of do.
I've had this teddy bear since I was born.
I kind of do.
Okay, all right, all
Yeah. And there's a zipper on the back of it, and you start to explore and start to figure things out as you're going along.
And what age is that for you?
For me, this is like 10, 11 years old.
Sure.
Yeah. So I start hearing friends talk about masturbation and stuff like that. And I had already been using it to kind of snuggle up with at night. And my brother would make fun of me because he was already like accusing me already of like
Younger, older brother?
older brother.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years older than me. He was already accusing me of using the bear to masturbate with. And I was like, no.
Which he probably was.
Which he might have been. And I was like, no, I keep my pocket knives in there. I don't masturbate with that. So, like that's my logic behind like, why? How could I do both?
That's where I put my weapons.
That's where I put my weapons. Okay, that's where my Boy Scout knives are. Okay, because I had this one pocket knife that I keep in there that had a spoon and a fork on it. That I was like, anyway, I love
That's the best for golden grams.
Exactly. I would feel like I was camping all the time, eating breakfast with. Anyway, so
You had a different feeling.
So I start to experiment with this bear, and somebody at school told me that you're supposed to do it with lotion. So I heated some lotion up in the microwave.
Why?
And
What was your
my
thinking?
God.
What was your
Huh?
thinking?
I
I
was-
hear it, but what is your
well,
thinking?
there's a zipper in the back of the
Which is
bear.
cold?
Huh?
What's heating it? What is your thinking on heating it?
I heard that sex was warm.
That's adorable.
I know, right?
And painful. That's
Yeah.
why you like the zipper.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Like, how does that work?
Well, it opened up big enough where there's like a pocket in there. It's like a.
Where
it's
is the zipper?
It's like a
Where
cloth
exactly
pocket.
is it? In the back?
It's exactly on the butt of the bear. So like so the bear basically I had which makes this even creepier. It was wearing one of my hoodies that I had from being a toddler. So it was wearing my own clothing from whenever
How
I was
big
like
is the
2.
bear?
It's just like this big.
Why is there a zipper on a bear?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That maybe to wash the.
You've never heard of
to
it?
I don't
stop
know.
what
I don't
he's about to
know.
do
Yeah, I don't know.
So
to ward off demons.
so I put the lotion in
The basket.
I put the lotion in the basket.
Okay, so I put the lotion on. I put the lotion on the bear. I put the lotion on the skin. I put the lotion on the bear.
I'd
Sound
fuck
an
my
acid
bear.
flashback.
I'd fuck my bear.
Would you? Would you?
So I put the lotion in the bear and I start to masturbate with it. And I accidentally left one of my tiny pocket knives in there. And it starts to cut the tip of my penis.
No.
A little bit. Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Pocket knife, like open?
No,
knife
no.
open or knife?
No, it was closed.
Okay.
I had like all different sizes of pocket knives. I have like a collection.
How many pocket knives did you have in there?
I usually would keep about 6 or 7 pocket knives in the bear. It's a deep pocket.
What are you, Rambo?
To be honest, though, he's from a place where
I'm from Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas. Like his parents have guns and like he grew up in like guns and knives. I know that for a fact.
Okay, we're in Kansas.
Pocket knife, Kansas.
No, Kansas City. I lived like just north of where it started to get like just super flat and fieldy and stuff like that. So I lived in the city area, but still like very much like I'd go out and shoot guns with my dads all the time, and we'd go to gun and knife shows. And I was a member of the NRA at 6 years old.
Me too. I was a member of the NRA because I grew up on. I'm from Kansas. I was born in Kansas.
I'm a member of the NAACP, so.
But I lived in Colorado, and you had to be in the NRA even to get to high school. Like you couldn't graduate junior high because it
Michaels, get out.
No, because it was in a rural area, and there was a lot of deaths by kids with guns. So you had to do NRA, which did these. The NRA
promote
used
gun
to
safety?
be like a pretty decent, to promote gun safety, and then it became all crazy. But yeah.
That's blown up in their face, hasn't it?
Continue.
So that's pretty much the end of the story. Did
you have a name for your bear?
Little Bear?
Little Bear.
Little Bear.
Somebody online thinks that detail makes it a lie because they feel like you couldn't come up with a name, so you're just like, Little Bear.
I think
good.
Little.
No,
I can see him
was a
being
cartoon
Little Bear.
that was named Little Bear. So
I literally,
Am I supposed to?
Of course. No, you can. You can quiz him too.
I mean, how many people keep an open pocket knife? I mean, if a
I
pocket
didn't say
knife
it was open.
Yeah.
He said it was closed.
But
I
you
asked
said
that.
closed
did you
pocket
say
knife.
it cut you in the dick hole?
No, it like cut the top of my penis. Like
How?
from
It was
rubbing
a
up against
closed
it.
knife
It was a
that
closed
he was
knife.
jamming his wang into.
But you had
There
like
was-
6 or 7 of those pocket knives.
No,
in your
no,
bear.
no,
I'm
no.
with.
I took
I'm with
the other
Brian.
ones out. I was saying that I accidentally left one behind. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, hey,
Wow.
No knife
six-
left behind.
the 6
But
or
I agree with
7
you.
The 6 or 7 knives is what got me too. But as far as the Little Bear point goes, that was a show. That was How old are you, Jeremiah?
30.
30. So for your generation too, there's a show about a bear. I had a bear named Little Bear because of that show. So that's
There you go.
reasonable. But 6 or 7 pocket knives is a lot.
Did your little bear have a zipper in the back?
He did not.
See, the zipper also kind of got
the
me.
zipper thing.
Because the bear I used to fuck, no zippers. Like what?
The bear I used to fuck hashtag me.
Somebody online said that they have heard Jeremiah mention Little Bear before as a bear.
Whoa.
You guys are running bits on this thing.
Yeah, but he might not have fucked it.
Oh yeah.
Let's go Brian's second, unless anybody has questions.
Well, I have a question.
Okay,
My question is, Jeremiah, when you would fuck your little bear,
That sounds
I
so
love this
hot when
question,
you
by
say
the
it.
way.
That sounds so hot the way you
did
said it.
you like say, "Oh, little bear," or did you utter any sentences
Did you
while
bite
you
his
would
little
fuck
ear?
Good
little
question.
Bear? Yeah, right.
Good question.
Right?
No, I think it was just more like kind of just like, like kind of.
Can you
Tell
do
me
that
Paddington's a
again? Can you do
faggot.
that
Tell me
again?
Paddington's a faggot.
Jesus. Okay.
Go Chiefs.
You're so stupid, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry, sports
All
guy.
right.
was like,
Yeah, what an
So-
idiot.
I just
Brian,
Yeah.
story 2 for you.
Wrong.
Oh, wait.
Somebody
I
else.
have
one more question for you.
So after you would come to fruition in Little Bear, would you just like zip it up and quietly put it to the corner of your bed? Like, what was the process? 'Cause
Shame
did
on
you-
Little Bear.
Yeah, like, and how many times did you do it? Because after a while, that must have been pretty fucking.
I only
gross.
did it a few times because the cloth got so disgusting on the inside of it because there's lotion inside of the cloth.
Watkins, along those same lines, is that the first time you ever ejaculated was into Little Bear?
I didn't finish. I couldn't finish inside.
You just said you did. You said it was so disgusting you had to put it on the shelf.
the lotion. from the cloth. You're trying to entrap me multiple times, but
So you
That's the
never-
name of the game, baby.
I know.
So you never came.
I never completed inside Little Bear.
Oh no. So
In
what,
your life?
No.
would you then move Little Bear and then complete somewhere else, or like?
I would usually just blue ball myself to sleep.
Yeah, that's what I did last night. Do you still have Little Bear?
Yes, I do.
Get out! Where is Little Bear?
It's
Best man in your wedding.
No.
Guarding all his pocket knives at home.
No joke. It was on my LA bed for the first 6 years that I lived in LA, and then my wife was like, "You need to
For the
competition away.
For the first 6 mornings of this week. For the first 6 mornings of this week.
How salty is Little Bear?
Salty as shit, dude.
So disgusting.
It's like licking a shark's dick.
That's so gross.
Like licking a shark's
That's so
dick.
gross.
Be cool.
Okay. All right, we'll go to your Redban second story.
Second story. Oh shit.
Technically third.
Unless we have questions from
Yeah, let's do it because I thought it was only 2 stories. Like, all right.
Well, Sean Devine's chiming in because he
Uh-huh.
thinks that this reminds him of something that happened in his own childhood. He said he had a little bear, no pocket knives in the back, but plenty of dried semen. So he
Right.
totally can
That's
relate.
the complete opposite of story.
You know what I don't get, and I'm just going to be honest here. Like, I'm a girl, and I've had stuffed animals, and I had a shark, or no, I had a dolphin stuffed animal, and never in my entire life did I think, I should put that snout up my vagina. You know what I mean?
Redban
Like,
has.
we had the same, we boys and girls have the same feelings about things in certain ways, but I never thought to put like one of my toys to work.
Well, Felicia,
yeah.
was there like an equivalent for girls growing up? Do you think there's like
Yeah,
maybe
good
not
point.
not exact same thing, but like were there strange things that we wouldn't imagine you guys
Great
typically
question
used to
from Mike.
masturbate?
I'm going to be honest. My mom had this recliner. I liked one of the arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felicia,
Yes.
I like the other one.
All right, your second story, Brian.
Reichel, second one.
All right. So
Or your third story.
yeah, I didn't know I was doing the second part. Okay, so I used to live on Ohio State campus, OSU campus, and
Columbus, Ohio.
I lived right next to a place called Newport Music Hall, which is a music hall that all the big bands would come to. And
Name some.
Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson,
Good enough.
shit like that.
Yep.
And because I lived right next to it, I used to always get free tickets to the place. So they would just be like, "Hey, Brian, we got, if you want to bring some friends, you can come in." So there was, when Smash Mouth first came out,
No one tells a Smash Mouth story.
Yeah.
Including Smash Mouth.
And I want you to know, like I didn't know who these guys were at all. I was just like, oh, some band called maybe it wasn't when they first got big, but whatever.
How long ago was this?
25
years ago.
No, this was probably right before I moved out.
Early mid.
No. Like 15, 17 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I don't know. I think it was before Smash Mouth became big. And
Have they?
I just remember like it was empty. Like it was like half full when I went there. So
Okay.
I'm guessing maybe right before they became big or whatever. But one cool thing is that we used to, like, when we got these, like, because we knew everyone that worked there, they let us have like full access to the whole entire place.
So you can go all over.
Right. So when they were playing, we were like usually on the back side stage, just watching from like almost like kind of like the side stage type thing, and there was like all these like backstage beddies usually at these shows, like if it being like local girls or girls that they bring or whatever like that.
Sure.
And there was a girl that was just watching, and we started talking, blah blah blah. And I told her like, hey, my place is like exactly right across the street.
You want to fuck?
No. I think
Exactly the.
I know your
exactly
dress.
the parking lot. My place is exactly the parking lot.
No. But back then I used to like sell drugs and shit like that. And I'm like, you want to go? Yeah. And I was like, do you want to go? Do some coke over at my place, smoke some weed? And she's like,
On
fuck
my
yeah.
dick.
This is while Smash Mouth was playing, and so she's like, fuck yeah. And so we go to my house and we start like doing shit like that, and then we
Okay.
start fucking around. We end up fucking, and then we were like,
How old is she?
I would probably say she was
Older,
like,
younger?
no, she was probably my age. Like she was probably like early 20s, probably.
Okay.
I actually have no idea. I just remember that she had like really bright red hair and she had really bright pubes. Like that was the first
Same
time
color?
That's the first time I ever fucked a
Yeah,
ginger.
she's
Bright
not a
red
trans
pubes?
ginger. She
red
owns
pubes?
that.
Bright red pubes too. Like
You got yourself a bona fide Pippi Longstocking.
like a legit redhead. Like a legit redhead.
And that's why your love for Wendy's.
Right.
So it's like
You know,
it's stapled in from so many years before.
it's-
People don't know how funny that was.
I know. That's why
is
Redban
a home
Postmates
run
Wendy's.
joke.
Yeah.
So
By the way, you know what's great about Pippi Longstocking? Those braids.
Something to hold on to.
No one forgets how to ride a bike.
so
or a redhead.
she's like, we got to get back, because it had been like maybe an hour, and so we.
Oh, you left the show and then
Yeah,
you
but
go-
it was really like across the street from the
Yeah,
place. So we sneak back in and blah blah blah. The show's already over, and they're like selling merch and doing all that merch shit like that.
Okay.
I find out because she goes right to the whoever the drummer. I don't even know who the drummer guy is, and they're married. And she had cum on her, and he goes, "What is that? Where have you been? We've been looking for you." Blah blah blah.
Who's
and
cum?
The door guys or the security guys, like I guess, told like, "Hey, she left with this guy," and I guess she had like a little thing on her, and the security guards like took me out back, and he like fucking yelling at me, the drummer guy, and he's yelling at me and blah blah blah.
Saying
and
what?
one
Saying what?
of the
Saying what?
security guards just starts like slapping me, and like I didn't know who this guy was. I think it was security with the band, maybe a roadie, I guess it would be.
Okay.
Starts slapping me and shit like that, and he pushes me. I fall on the ground, and then I just I take off running. But
Because you live across the street.
yeah, but I didn't go towards my house. I went right down the alley, and I'm like, oh fuck this, and
I have many questions about this story.
sure.
Well,
I don't have a single one.
here's the thing. So if it's Smash Mouth and they didn't sell out the place, it's pretty empty.
I think it was before.
I can't
Smash.
believe the drummer would be traveling with his wife. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I have no answer to that.
Michael.
right?
I have no answer to that.
I had a drummer boyfriend when I was
But
22.
she was, but she,
So did I.
But-
traveled.
so did I.
but there was a couple people with him. Like there was the roadie guy, and there was definitely the other two girls. I think might have been dating other.
So you
people
didn't
in the
know
band.
that was her husband. You made
I had
an
no idea. I
assumption.
thought they were just like,
That's a
oh, these
guess.
are like. Because
That's
they
a
always
guess
have,
on your end.
every time I went there, they always had like backstage girls. And so I thought it was just like a local girl that they were like, oh yeah, you can go back or something like that.
Okay.
They had a couple girls. So I agree. That makes zero sense. But I think there was a couple girls
In
with
your
the
mind
band
from that memory.
and a couple people with the band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if she had Michael Evans, did you want to say something?
I wanted to ask Thibault. You said I have zero questions. Is that because like strong instincts, you believe it or do not? Why are you absolute like what? When you said
probably
you had no
knows.
questions, where you at?
Did I tell you this story?
I've never heard that story.
I'm
before
pretty
in my
sure I
life.
didn't tell this story
And
before.
no, I've never heard that story. But I've
That was my
never
backup
heard
story, by the
your
way.
backup story. The first story sound familiar to me because a lot of the fans said they've seen you do that on stage. Your second story and your third story, but I know you very well, and if you want me to get, I won't guess right now.
No, we're not
he
guessing
mentioned
right
he
now.
So
sold
I'm confident in both my answers. I think his
third.
the story he just told right now, third story,
Yeah.
I do believe that he believes all of that.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Because of the laugh, right? Because he did that. He did
No,
his
he was
Redban
making eye
laugh.
contact. He was
Yeah,
being very
yeah,
honest, and
yes.
he was like, I knew where he lived. I know where he lived. I know the shows he used to go see, and I do think that.
Do you know him well enough to know if he would have ever sold drugs before?
Of course, I do.
Yeah.
I bought drugs. I met him buying drugs from him.
That's the most.
Of course, I did.
That's the most believable part of the story.
Yo,
I
I'm
love
just
that Michael Evans
I
is
still
so
owe him
innocent
money
about
for
it.
drugs.
egg on my face. Hey, my bad. I didn't
Hey,
know
and
Redban.
fun
I thought
fact-
there's no way that guy would sell.
Fun fact, by the way, back then weed was so illegal in Ohio that how I used to transport it, I used to take a VHS tape and
Put it in your
crack
asshole?
it. No, crack it open a VHS tape and take the tape out of it, and then put my weed in there, and then put it back into like, oh, Can't Buy Me Love, put it in my back seat. No cop's gonna be like, oh, there's Can't Buy Me Love.
Court
there.
McCown would be so proud. Court McCown would be so proud.
What do the people online say?
Well, Leah says, hey, now, you're an all-star. Screw Loose called it about 6 minutes ago. Said Redban's lying.
Why? Why?
Didn't offer an explanation, just
Yeah,
called
why?
it right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Well, someone's got to.
Well, quite a
Wait,
few
what was that
people-
screen name again?
That was Screw Loose. And quite a few people are chiming in saying that he's lying. I don't know. I think that's a trick too. But anyway, so let's see. Redban could have been a single episode. Ken Lofgren says the stories are a little lengthy, so we'll keep that in mind.
Sorry,
next time
sorry.
Redban's in
No,
town.
no, it's all
No,
good.
no,
It's all good.
We're
It's all
fine. We're
good.
fine. We're fine.
Leah also says, you know what they say, red on top. Nobody?
I don't know.
Fire in the hole.
Oh.
I was gonna say black on bottom, but hashtag
I thought it was
me
going to be
too.
ban on bottom but I didn't know the joke. So. Yeah, so they all pretty much think you're lying. Redman's never ran in his life. Maybe a light jog, not a run. Somebody.
You could have said it better if you're like, I trotted back to
Hey.
my place.
By the way, I was selling coke. I was like 80 pounds lighter. All right.
That's where he would run.
The Bud Triangle says that the drummer to Smash Mouth is their cousin. So maybe they can offer some information on
Yeah,
whether that's
let's
true or
hear
not.
Has my
Let's
mom
hear
chimed
it.
in yet? Nothing from my mom yet.
Nothing from T's
She'll
mom
get
yet.
back.
Surprised.
Your
All right.
second story, Watkins. Are you ready?
Yeah,
All
let's do
right.
it.
Here we go.
I was in love with a Snoopy that I used to have.
yeah. I did used to have a Snoopy bank.
I used to love Snoopy.
I used to, yeah. I had this this Snoopy bank for years. That was this plastic bank that it slid, and then I would put like had money in there, and yeah, and have
Very cool.
yeah. Anyway,
You fucked your Snoopy bag?
yeah, man.
That would be a
Out of
story.
money. Out of money.
So this happened in around 2008, if I remember correctly. 2007, 2008. It was right after I graduated high school. I decided to take a.
Jesus, I feel so
I
old.
know. I just almost killed
know.
myself.
I decided to take a road trip with a group of guys out to California.
From Kansas City.
From Kansas. So it's about a 25-hour drive.
Mhm.
And we
You were
are
19 at the time?
18, 19, right around
Summer
there.
before college.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep,
this
yep,
is
yep.
like our big thing that
Right.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
do.
yeah.
You know,
Yep.
we're graduated. We're
Yep.
this is our coming of age moment.
One crazy summer. That's your fucking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had a near death experience that happened on that trip. On the way back, we already had a slew of bad luck, like with parking tickets and stuff, just from
Uh-huh.
being like ignorant and not knowing. Like we literally in Colorado, I'll never forget how Kansas we were. We didn't know how like meters worked for
Sure.
just like to pay.
Sure.
Like we had to ask somebody. They're like,
I
park
believe
Especially
you.
in different states.
yeah. We're like, they're like, no, you park between here and then you pay up there. And we're like, what? Okay. So on the way back, I think we're going through around Wyoming at that point. Anyway, I think my friend fell asleep at the wheel because I wake up to a semi hitting the side of the back of this Honda Accord. I'm in the back seat. It's this coupe Accord, and I slam my head on the side next to the window, and that's how I wake up. Is like I'm seeing this semi like right next to the car, and then my buddy up front is like, pull over.
You're in the front seat,
The back.
passenger.
I'm in the passenger rear side. Does that make
You're-
sense?
Okay,
So-
yeah.
so you
you're
guys are in the
you're
fast
catty corner
lane.
from the driver.
Yeah. So we're on
You're
the left
behind
side.
the passenger in the front.
We're on the left side.
The
The
fast
semi.
lane.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I'm in the right passenger rear window, which
Yep.
is right next to
Right.
where the collision is going
Okay.
on. So I wake up to that, and we pull over, and
What time of night is it?
it's in the middle of the day.
Oh, god damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
We pull over, and 15 seconds later, we see his tire go by from our car.
The truck or your tire?
Our tire
Oh,
from the
boy,
car.
that's
It like goes by like after we're like, what just happened? And the semi pulls over on the side of the road, and this guy starts yelling at us like immediately because
So you guys all pulled over.
What's
We-
he
we pulled
hauling?
over on
What's
the
he
left
hauling?
side.
What's he hauling?
Dude, I didn't check the back of his. There's a hole. I didn't. So I say,
Kinda
I
Prob-
remember. I would have
kinda
remembered that.
random.
I would have
Kinda
remembered
random.
that.
so he pulls over properly on the shoulder of the highway.
The
Yeah.
right side.
On the right side.
And you
Yep, yep,
guys
yep.
pull
We
over
are
on
on
the
the
left
left.
side.
And we are still hanging off into the highway a little bit. Like my friend didn't pull over all the way.
Did he wake up?
Yeah, he woke up,
Uh-huh.
but he said that the semi hit us. I am just assuming that he was asleep because I just don't it doesn't add up to me that he just like let this semi hit him. I think he dozed at the wheel because we had been driving for so long and we were just trying to get back to Kansas. So this guy pulls over in the semi. He gets out. We start like we go to the other side and he starts yelling at us saying, "You hit my semi, you hit my semi." A separate guy, unbeknownst to us, who's also in a semi, we didn't see him pull over. We didn't see him where he came from. He's like, "Hey, you got to get that car off the road. You're hanging off into the highway. This is how wrecks happen." It was
Yours
another
or the
semi.
freeway?
This is a second semi that
okay.
pulled over.
Yeah.
And basically he calms down the situation between the other semi truck drivers. Like, no, just exchange information. Everybody calm down. And he helped us push the car off to get it safe. And he's like, he told me, he's like, "You stand over there on the hill. Get away from like this traffic." And I didn't see that guy pull up, and I didn't see that guy take off. And it was like a touched by an angel moment. The guy who helped us get the car off the road and who settled down the fight between us and the semi-truck driver. And I could have been out of it, and I could have been delusional, but
I don't know. This
Got
sounds
two
like you
stories.
Googled something and came up with
Two
a story
stories
like that. You know?
Yeah, but his other story
I
is
don't
like
know.
he.
There's
I
like a,
actually
The other
disagree
story is like
with you.
he like hid weapons in a bear.
and why
that
the
he
fuck
It's
would you
like-
go through Wyoming
He's good
to
at
get to
that.
Kansas?
That's what I was
yeah,
thinking. I
that's
road
my
trip a lot,
question.
and I've
Yeah,
never done
why
that.
did you guys
On
do
the way
that?
back.
Yeah, but why?
the northern route?
Scenic
Isn't
route?
that the northern route?
I don't
It's
know.
like 180 miles out of the way, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
yeah.
Then if I said that, then I said I think it's Wyoming.
Uh-huh.
Would it be Utah? Is that the more proper northern route?
I think you would
Kansas
know
like a
where this
desert
would
area.
happen. Oh, now it's desert?
By the way, I was staring at his nose both stories, and the first
Yeah.
one, his nose was twitching and a little vein was poking out and shit. But this one, nothing.
What does that mean?
The-
What does that mean if it's
No.
if he has
I don't know.
if
I
it's
don't know.
twitching,
on
is
his
that the
second
truth or
stories,
not
his
the
nose
truth?
like my most recent Facebook post. So
By the way, and also I have to say something. I just told you guys 3 stories.
Uh-huh.
I told the
Yeah,
first 2
he did.
stories were 2 different stories.
Right.
all of them are
Yes,
lies, by
yes.
the way. I don't think you've
Oh,
ever
yeah.
told the truth in your life.
All right. So I told 3 stories. To
You
I
did
think-
tell 3. You did tell 3.
Wow, that's wow.
Ken
I mean,
Lofgren doesn't.
Yes, go ahead. No, Austin, go ahead.
Ken Lofgren doesn't think the story's true. He said this story. This is a story about Redban driving and getting in a wreck.
And that's why Tony drives us everywhere now.
There's no way that's true because every car that Redban has drives itself.
Wow, that's what do you think, Michael Evans? He's not paying
Right.
attention.
No,
you-
I'm paying attention. Well, we're trying to.
He's
we
doing
have
well
so-
on Fortnite right now.
We have so many live opinions and votes going on as it goes that we're trying to put a poll up live so we could get stats of how they're feeling.
Okay, yeah,
as we're
let's
talking
do it.
about it.
Let's
That's
do
what I
it.
was doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Basically, it's the same as when. Are we talking about Redban or both or what? Right
No,
now?
Jeremiah. Jeremiah's story about the ghost, the supposed touched by an angel moment.
I'm having a tough time. I had a tough time getting into this story to begin with because I had zero doubt about the first one.
Yeah.
I can't
Right.
see
I agree
how
with
that
you.
could be untrue. That felt pretty normal, reasonable, weird little kid shit, and kids do shit like that, and I get it. And I had a little bear, you know. So I mean, so the second story, the ridiculous part.
Yeah, and if
they
your
stood
friend
out.
fell asleep in the fast lane, and here's the thing: one time I was driving back from Colorado. I was driving from Los Angeles to Colorado, and I had a little Mazda RX-7, and it was wintertime, and I fell asleep. But I was like 22, right? And I was like, I'll just close my right eye, right?
Oh
Like
my-
how
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
dumb girl shit is that? And then I went off the embankment.
Median or-
no, on the other
Oh,
side.
The other way, yeah.
And I woke up to like, what the fuck? So part of that story I can believe, but I can't believe that your friend would be in the fast lane and he would fall asleep in the fast lane. That's kind of crazy. And
Also-
explain to me what happened once you guys, and when the tire went off, did the car go bum, 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 like what happened when?
Oh
Was
yeah,
there
we were
any
skidding like
difference?
after we got picked up by the tow truck, we went to this place, and this is how dumb my friend was.
What city?
The wheel.
In what city?
I don't know where the city.
What state?
I said I think it's around Wyoming, but
somewhere around there.
He's trying.
if
He's
it's
trying to
if
trick
it
you up.
if it's just I mean whatever, if it's just that, then disregard just that fact. But anyway,
Okay.
I think I would remember what state I was in if I had a touch by
that's happened to
angel
me a
ball.
lot.
That's
That's happened to me a
I see what
lot.
he's saying, but I'm looking at his eyes, and he has this like different eye right now.
You're right, Brian. You're right, Brian.
And, like, I could see he's thinking about Satan right now. Like, sorry, Satan, I'm lying.
I miss you, Teddy Ruxpin. I miss you, Teddy Ruxpin. I want to put all my pocket knives inside of you.
Never once during the Little Bear story was it like.
Okay, so this is how.
Teddy Ruxpin's gonna pay tonight for this.
All right,
Don't give it up.
Don't
give it up yet. Don't give it up.
This is how dumb my friend was. We're at where we got towed to, right? And it's like a Hills Have Eyes little town in the middle of nowhere. And my friend, we're all looking at his now totaled car, and the wheel that is usually round is literally a square from. And he looks at the guy and he goes, "So are we gonna be able to like slap a tire on this thing and get back on the road, or?" And the guy, and we're all like, "Dude,
What was that
your
guy's
car's
name?
gone." I don't remember that guy's name at the tow truck place.
No, I thought your friend that said that.
Oh, Willie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Willie what?
God, it's so
Brown.
tricky.
If you want to
Willie
drop
Brown.
Willie Brown.
Really?
What is this, Crossroads? Willie Brown.
Willie Williams. It was Willie Williams.
Him and Robert Johnson were hanging out in the Delta. And
He almost said Willie Hunter. Willie's Brown. I mean,
Oh, I'm definitely ready to vote. I'm definitely ready to vote.
All right, do we have any comments from online?
everybody's kind of chiming in, voting right now. Kia thinks that Jeremiah's second story is true, actually.
Wow.
I
That person
originally
should check
thought
into
that.
rehab.
I originally thought that also.
Kia,
Really?
Yeah, because I thought his first
You
story
think
was
that's more true
Dude,
than the
pocket,
bear?
the pocket knife at first, I was like, that's bullshit. It has a zipper. Didn't believe that story
Sir,
at
you
all.
have thrown a monkey
And then he
wrench.
told the second story. It was so boring and like meh that I was like, no, that has to be the real one. But now just looking at his eyes, when
And
he
you guys
said-
spent a lot of time, but I will say to everybody listening right now live,
Yeah.
you guys spend a
Yeah,
lot of time on
100%.
planes
Yeah.
and in cars and
Yeah,
on the
I
road.
know Jeremiah
Yes,
very
And
well.
you two
yes.
know each other way better than any of us.
Yep.
I will say this, having seen Jeremiah 100 times on stage, it's hard though, like, because you're so fucking spontaneous on stage. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's like I could totally. I get confused about which one is the lie. Although the Wyoming thing is kind of crazy.
But like when he's on stage and when he's doing a podcast, he's in control of that environment. But when he's like you would always say, like,
he's been controlling this whole fucking podcast since it started.
we'll see.
All right. So, should we go ahead and have you recap the two stories?
Let's do the recap.
Redban's first.
Sure.
Yeah.
So are we going to recap the first story that we assume is true? Okay.
Yeah, because we.
That was his mulligan.
Yeah.
No, do all three. I want to know what you guys think of all
It's
three.
only
of
Well,
them.
it's like 3 sentences. So.
Okay. All right.
His first story, which we decided to move on from because people knew, was that he built a computer when he was in college around the AOL1 era. He had this creepy stalker system where he could find people's houses and say creepy things to them. So naturally, he just happens to stumble on some hot chick and they bang. Then he meets more girls and basically invents internet dating. But then he got catfished by a big old girl, and that pretty much ruined it for him. So that story we're not voting on. That's not anything to worry about. So his real first story was that he used to date an adult bookstore worker in Ohio, and she used to make these sexy VHS videos, and one time it included him in a disguise, which somebody online can probably find. If you start looking now, we've still got a few minutes left in the show. You can probably get it to us by the time we finish. So Brian Redban, VHS porn, look it up, somebody for us. Thank you. And that's it. That's...
No,
Yeah, 3 stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look up
Two,
Brian Redban.
Yeah, there you go. He used to live right by Ohio State and sell drugs, which a bunch of people online did not think that he could sell drugs.
Oh,
Michael
my
was not
God.
the only one. Michael was not the only one. And so a bunch of big popular bands used to come by before they got big, like National Treasure, Smash Mouth. So he meets a girl at their concert, and he invites her back to his little drug den for some freaky coke sex, and she ends up being the drummer of Smash Mouth's wife. It leads to a whole chaotic scene. And
I have
now
a
we're here.
question. And my question
The
is,
2 hard stories to decipher.
on the third story, when you guys came back to the concert backstage, and then she had some spunk on her, I guess we'll say that. And where was the spunk?
On the bottom, like, of her shirt.
And people were literally like, "What's on the bottom of your
Well,
shirt?"
that was one of the things I remember them yelling about. Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
Yeah, but yelling.
yeah, I was about to get my ass kicked. Like, they were freaking out because we had left and we were gone for like an hour. So when we came back, it was kind of noticeable. Like, oh, there she is. Who's that guy that she's with? And then it was a big deal out in the back.
That's almost a scene in Superbad where Jonah Hill's dancing, gets the period blood on his leg, and then the guy's like, "Hey, where'd that period blood come from?" "Oh, you must have been dancing with my girlfriend," and then they run him out of the party. Sort of same situation, but with semen.
I'm gonna say, I don't believe a drummer would have his girl with him on a not sold out.
So you think I made porno videos?
Oh, that's so hard though.
Maybe.
Oh, I absolutely think you made porn.
Yeah, you think that's the one that's true?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah, I think the porno videos is true, and that the
I think-
Smash Mouth one. I think the Smash Mouth one is. I think there's parts of that story that could be true, but the
Might have actually
overall
been Smash
crux-
Mouth drummer's wife or girlfriend or whatever. What do you think, Michael?
I think Smash Mouth is true,
Oh, Michael, your voice got deeper.
and I think porno didn't happen because I think I know you very well, and I think once you would make a mistake and maybe that got out, but 12. You said 12 different videos. I don't see you. You're such a tech guy and like, the Podfather. I don't see
that's a
12
great-
videos
Podfather.
going. I don't see you letting 12 get out. If that happened once,
But
yeah.
by the way, this is in
Yeah.
college. This
Doesn't
is-
matter. Doesn't matter.
But at the same
it doesn't
time,
matter. Doesn't matter. I know you. I think that the Smash Mouth thing is true.
Because he was
And-
also 19 in the first story that he told that was obviously true because we had to move on from it, right? And he was building computers at that time. A guy that can build computers can probably
I just-
figure out how to get
And-
video.
I'm
I'm gonna go.
sorry.
I'm gonna go. The band is true. Smash Mouth wasn't big enough yet.
Agreed.
And when you're not a huge band, what you're,
Google the
your
Smash
girlfriend
Google
might-
the Smash Mouth drummer, by the way.
I will. Okay.
We're not
After the
gonna-
show, after the show.
I actually never want to do that with my own life because I think that's when it's time to do a selfie check. It's when I'm Googling the drummer of Smash Mouth, I gotta take a real hard look at myself. So I'm not gonna do that, and I'm just gonna go, that story's true. That's my final answer with Redban.
You Google the drummer for Smash Mouth and it says just get
Don't
your
Google,
life
don't
together.
Google, don't Google.
The drummer of Smash Mouth doesn't Google the drummer of Smash Mouth.
Never once.
That's how bad that is.
Turns out Redban is the drummer for Smash Mouth.
All right.
I'm on the same page. The volume of tapes is too high for Redban's aptitude with that sort of shit.
Yeah, 12. Do you want to change your number? You think it was 12 times you made?
It was
Doesn't
VHS
matter.
tapes.
I mean,
12
just
though, that's
imagine
such a random
storing 12
number.
Wearing a
VHS.
costume. By the way, if you saw these tapes, you wouldn't even think it's me because I was, one, really thin. Unless you saw like the last one or two ones, I think I had my tattoo in there. Then you would notice.
Did you have performance anxiety or
No,
fright
hell
or
no,
anything
hell no.
like
I was
that?
fucking
No?
like two girls at once sometimes. It was great.
Wow.
Two girls at once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I stuck my balls in one girl and fucked.
Man.
All right,
So
I'm going to come clean right now, guys. All right.
No, not yet.
Are you Googling something, Jeremiah?
No. Jeremiah,
Don't
do you have,
Google.
do you
Don't
have
Google.
any,
You're
do you
not
have
allowed
any
to
questions
Google.
for
You're not allowed to
Red
Google.
Band before we go to yours, and then
Find
we're
it.
going to vote at
No,
the end?
I'm trying to find out where Wyoming is at.
Okay.
Okay, well, that affects my answer.
All right, so we're taking a vote. I'm going to say that Red Band's, I stick by he did the pornos and not the Smash Mouth.
I
So
go
you're
the other way.
You're the only one, Felicia, that thinks the first story is
I go
true.
the other way.
Fuck. I don't like when I'm agreeing with the majority. I never seem to win when I'm agreeing with the
Yeah, I
majority.
never
wanna
win.
I wouldn't with a haircut like that either.
Hey, well. Hey, that was a good one.
Thanks,
All right,
So that's
so,
all I got.
and you were saying you're voting?
I'm with that.
Okay,
The
so
majority.
which
The
one
majority.
is the lie?
What's it true?
So my first story that I did was real.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah. we
Then
did
I
that.
did a fake story.
Oh.
And then I thought I was doing two more stories, so I did a third fake story. So the only thing I said was real was the first one.
God damn it.
I told you.
You should
This
be
is a producer problem.
No, I fucking told you they
Everything you said was a lie.
I was going to have a fourth.
Oh my God.
I was going to have a fourth real story. I thought
Thank
you guys
God
were like, oh,
Jessica
no.
isn't here. She
Jessica
would
would
be
literally
so
murder you.
fucking mad. She would be so
I'm about to
mad.
murder you guys. do you understand? I told 2 stories at the beginning, 2 different stories.
Yeah.
And then Jeremiah, then you guys, all right, now it's time for the second story. And I'm like, wait, I just told 2 stories.
I know, but
And
you
then
told us-
I thought there was 2 stories, like one fake, one real. Then we have a second fake and real. You see what I mean? So I thought we were doing it twice, pretty much.
All right.
Why'd you not tell me that? Like I did 2 stories.
All right, we're moving on.
I don't get it. I hope you
moving
guys
on.
at home understand what was.
Jeremiah, did you fuck a
Jeremiah.
bear or did you get
We're
a flat
taking a
tire?
vote.
And by the way, this one I
wait,
think
I got it.
100% the second story was fake.
All right, we're gonna have Austin.
You think
recap.
flat tire's fake, and you think
Hold on,
His
hold on.
fir-
We're
Jeremiah-
gonna have Austin recap Jeremiah's story.
okay.
His first story, he had a teddy bear named Little Bear with a little zipper on the back that he used to masturbate
You
into.
need to look us in the eye when we talk about Little Bear, my friend.
Okay.
That he used to masturbate into with microwaved lotion. One time he left a little pocket knife in
That's right.
there, and he cut his little wiener.
Because
in
he
Little
thought
Bear.
sex was warm.
Yeah.
So
Well,
when you microwave the lotion, do you remember how, like, did you do 1 minute, 2 minute? How many minutes did you microwave it for?
I think
9 minutes.
I think I did it.
Then it wasn't the knife.
The only
that hurt
people
your
that laughed at
penis.
that own a microwave.
I think I did it like over a minute or something. and
That's
it-
a
and it-
lot.
And it started to like bubble and like splash up like on, and I was like, oh, this is too much.
That's a lot for a cap full of lube.
somebody actually chimed in earlier and said that they know for a fact, I don't know how, that lotion does not boil. So
That's
story
good.
can be true. But
That's good for the bear.
That is a weird fucking
And by the
fact
way,
to
that's
know.
not true. Lotion does boil. We've all done it.
Yeah.
His second story, around 2007, 2008, he and some other Kansas City boys were road tripping to Los Angeles when somewhere around Wyoming, one of those deserty states over there, he's napping and he wakes up to a semi smashing into their car. Their tire goes flying by when they pull over on the wrong side of the road. Somehow they pulled over with 3 tires. The driver was pissed, but an angel ghost calmed the situation and helped out before he faded off back into heaven.
All right, so what does online say? Is the majority saying the first or the second
Yeah,
story?
I want to
is
know
true?
what are the
Yeah.
people saying?
Redban, what is your vote?
I originally thought the bear story was fake, and then
Flat tire's true.
flat tire I thought 100% was real, but now I think flat tire is fake.
Okay, Michael
Most people
Evans.
think second
Wait,
story is a lie.
Redban, what about the bear story feels fake to you? You didn't have any.
Well,
weird
I feel
shit?
like,
Because, like, look, everyone has a pocket knife, right? And if you have it folded shut,
especially when you're
even
12.
even if your
You think
dick,
Felicia has a pocket?
even if, no,
I-
everyone had a
I
boy
have,
like
I
a.
have 2 pocket knives.
Figured you carried
And if
both
you
they're
like,
called her tits.
if you're ramming your dick against that closed pocket knife, it's not going to really do much. Maybe it would, but in the fact that a zipper on the back of the bear, like a zipper is made on something so you can open it and close it. When it's on the back of a bear, why would you need a zipper? Because it's like you never would have to do that. So they would never have a zipper. They would just sew it up. Like,
I
it's
hear
serious.
you, and I also feel like there were so many details about the flat tire that you and I questioned.
Uh-huh.
That Felicia and,
Jesus.
of course, Jessica Michelle Singleton. That's what I'm calling myself. But we we quizzed him, like he couldn't name the state, couldn't name the street.
Yeah, the
couldn't
one.
name-
that I actually
every
believe.
every
Yeah.
question you asked
Right.
was like
Yeah.
mystery. But
I
on
see-
the bear story, he had all the like you would ask him, he would know it. So
Right.
I think the bear story is true, and I think the flat tire isn't.
Leah said plot twist, both of Jeremiah's stories are true.
Yep.
And Dark Star said Colonel Jurgens actually opened up for Smash Mouth the night that you didn't bang the drummer's girlfriend. Colonel Jurgens was a quote somebody said, I guess.
I don't even know what that means.
Wellington thinks the bear story is true.
The whole thing was
Wellington
fake.
thinks the bear story is true.
Well, God, but how many? I can't believe your mom would let you have 6 or 7 different pocket knives.
You've never been to
No,
the
no, no,
Midwest.
his-
the Midwest.
No,
I mean, I had
that I believe.
I
You've seen
had
it.
me too. I had so many pocket
You've seen
knives.
Instagram stories of
I
me
had
holding guns
switchblades.
when
I
I
had
go back home.
nunchucks. Trust me, that's not an issue.
You should see his raccoon video.
What do you
Nope.
think, Michael?
I think he was fucking that bear for a long time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Clay Ford
Yep.
said Jeremiah didn't start masturbating until
He
he was
even
24.
said he still has it. He even said he still has it.
that I believe.
He still has it.
True love stands the test of time.
By the way, this was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, if you still have the bear, when you unzip it, do you still smell a taint of the lotion?
I mean, I haven't smelled it in a long time.
It's like when you go back to your old 8th grade, like
I haven't
and then
opened
you
up. I
smell
haven't
the
opened up
hallway.
the zipper in years.
But you know, like
Same
here's
Z's.
the thing.
Same Z's.
Here's the thing. When I first started here at the Comedy Store, there used to be a guy that did a lot of coke here. And one time I went to it. I know, hard to believe. And one time I went to his house and we did a lot of coke. And I got so coked up and I was all drunk. And then I went to blow him. My kids are over 18 now.
Was his name me?
No, because you never have coke. Anyways,
It's true.
and I kind of, as I was blowing him, kind of threw up on his dick a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then I had
You sure it wasn't
children.
me? That sounds familiar as shit.
No, not me. And then I had children. And every time I drive by that fucking apartment building
You
complex,
get a kind of.
I get a little like, ooh, right?
like queasy in your
I
stomach.
get just a little like, oh, bad memory.
Right.
So that's why,
weird.
like, if you still have the teddy bear, when you see the teddy bear, does it flash in your mind the
Yeah.
the time you used to?
Pavlov's dog.
It's-
Is
you
it
get rock
Pavlov's
hard.
dog?
It's not in the.
Operant conditioning.
I just see it. I'm like, oh.
Meat powder. Ring the bell, doggy. Ring
Little
the bell.
No, it's not in plain sight anymore. It's like packed up in the
That's
closet.
for the best.
It was
Okay.
it was on my bed while I was a bachelor for years, and then my
Oh.
wife's like, "We need to
Oh.
not have like our teddy bears out."
Because hers doesn't have weapons or cum inside of it.
Yeah, true, true.
Well, he didn't come inside the teddy bear. He said.
That's true. Just lube the shit out of it.
That's such a
All
real
right,
story.
I'm gonna say the teddy bear story is false. I've never seen a teddy bear with a
Disagree.
zipper in the back, and I can't believe that you would fuck the teddy bear and not have wound yourself as a 12-year-old with that teddy bear because you're not experienced and you're fucking wilding on a teddy bear. I think there's going to be problems with a zipper. And although I question the Wyoming being in the state of Wyoming, I do question that.
I think the first story is true because of the Wyoming thing. I've
I
road tripped a
know.
lot since I
Yeah,
moved
no,
All
here.
right, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with you.
As-
I know I should stand by my.
Jessica
conviction.
Wellington thinks that the bear story is true and the flat tire is not.
So the same as me.
Yep,
Michael,
okay.
did Michael vote?
Yeah, I'm having what TiVo's having on that.
There you go, baby.
Okay, so you think the
No,
bear
I'm
story is true?
Wellington.
All right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Everybody online was pretty much thinking that the second one was a lie, except for Kia, who was the only one that I saw that voted the other way. So
All right, I'm gonna say the fuck. It's so hard though. Like,
Pick.
I'm gonna say the teddy bear story is false.
God, we're going the other way. Go
Which
for it.
one is the lie?
Truth.
Which one is a lie?
Do you guys want me to say it now?
I mean,
Yes.
eventually.
Yes.
The teddy bear story with me jerking off into the teddy bear is false. But to make it more believable,
Oh, yes.
I did sprinkle it with truths to make it more believable.
Uh-huh.
Little Bear is an actual real bear. Little Bear actually has a zipper. He has a zipper in the back, and I used to keep pocket knives
Ken
in it.
Lofgren said that he had the same bear.
Yes.
Oh, now you
Yep.
say that now.
Yeah, Redban, you.
I never put lotion in it and never heated up, never tried to jerk off with it. My brother would always my brother would always pester me. He would always make fun of me saying that I was having sex with the bear. I did keep pocket knives in there, and I did keep at least 6 or 7
See, he's
pocket
doing the
knives
two
in
truths
there.
and a lie, though. Like this whole thing was half fake, half real.
I mean, it's a lie. I've never jerked off with the bear before.
Yeah,
No,
whoever
the
would
crux
do
of the
something like
story
that would
is
be
jerking
weird.
off into the bear, and he didn't do that. So,
Yeah.
wow.
So you don't
Yeah.
know what state you were in.
I just looked at the map. Here, look.
that I is the only thing I believe. The only reason I didn't believe him. 'Cause
Okay, so a detail that I wish I would have included is
You don't know the states.
No. Is we went all the way up to Sacramento before we went back to.
Well, that would have been helpful.
Yeah.
very
piece of
helpful.
We went all the way.
Yeah.
So we went from Sacramento on the way back, and we went. That's why I was saying the northern route. So look, this is Sacramento somewhere around up here, and we went, and so we are on the outskirts of Wyoming somewhere.
for the
Yeah.
audio listeners,
Between
Jeremiah.
Utah-
For the audio listeners, Jeremiah is showing us a picture of Teddy Ruxpin's butt.
I'm Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin spreading his cheeks.
I'd love to hide your weapons.
Teddy's goatsy.
Wow, you guys were awesome guests. Thank you so much for coming and sharing these fucked up stories on the Liars Club.
That's what
Where can
happens.
people catch you? I know you have a lot of fans watching, but for new people, and what do you guys have shaking that you would like the people to know?
Kill Tony's about to go on to Australia.
Australia.
We're going to be in La
Wow.
Jolla on the 20th.
Nice.
Dallas.
Second show, Dallas.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And Jeremiah just released a calendar, so I'll probably be looking at that a lot. Actually, just go to deathsquad.tv. You can find all the past episodes of everything we've always done, including podcasts with all these guys here. So check it out.
Oh, wonderful. And what
Yeah.
about you, Jeremiah? You want to?
What a wonderful podcast you have.
Oh,
To
thank
do it
you.
again. I had fun when I just
yeah,
recently did it.
Deeb killed it on Jeremiah Wonders. Super fun guest. Have on that
Super
show.
fun podcast.
You
Check
know what my one annoyance is? I'll see on Twitter, and you're like, if you have any questions for blah, 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 and it's always 9 hours too late. And I'm like, oh, I have a question.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll try to post that status a little bit earlier. then.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
Because
get great
sometimes it
guests,
comes up
get
in
great
the
guests.
feed late. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremiah's stand up on social media, and then Kill Tony and stand up on the spot is every second Tuesday of the month here at the Comedy Store. And
Check out his calendar for real, though. It's awesome.
the
Well,
Kill
if y'all-
Tony band calendar
If
is
y'all have
pretty awesome.
not seen videos of the Kill Tony band lately, these guys are on fire. I mean, they are
Yeah.
killing it with their characters. that they
Well,
come out in
it's
every
so goddamn wonderful.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
man.
The George
Yeah.
Bush thing was like when,
I
when
mean,
I really
can't
was
even.
just,
I can't even begin to say how funny you guys have made
it's
that
crazy.
show.
And Lauren, Jeremiah is not racist.
Okay. Anyway, so Michael Evans, what do you have shaken? Is there anything you want people to know where they can follow you?
Yeah, High Five Michael on Instagram, and check us out here in the Belly Room on the 25th. And
with Tim
and I'll
Dillon
be-
and the guy O'Beelum that day.
Yeah, and Gaio
yeah.
Beelum and Tim Dillon are going to be on the show.
Yeah, what
Nice.
a fucking that's gonna be
Great.
so
That's
fun.
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
going to be
great.
a lot. That's gonna
Yeah.
be
That'll be
fun.
great.
gonna be hard to
And I'm in the main room at the Improv later tonight. If you're around, come check it out.
How dare you bring up the improv? How about you, Jayson?
My name is Wellington, Jessica, and
maybe
you can find
Beef
me at the
Wellington.
Teeb on Twitter and Punch Drunk Sports, obviously with Ari Shafir, Sam Tripoli, and Sports Band. And then
guys want top
92.7 The Pod, 92.7 The Pod with me and my good
Are
friend.
you still doing that?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're about to
I-
start it right back up. There's going to be 21 episodes only, and with me and my good friend Portia Bartholomew. So please check that out.
I'm the Austin Walker on everything, and I will see y'all on our Instagram, the Liars Club 1, Twitter, Liars_Club, and our YouTube, of course. Please subscribe so you can get notified when we go live and stuff like that.
Also, if you have Amazon Prime, please go on Amazon Prime and watch my documentary that I produced and directed called Purrs with Joey Diaz, Felipe Esparza, Lori. That's right, I'm doing that right now. Lori Kilmartin. And also, I just released.
You know I'm in that, by the way.
Yes, Brian Redban is in. That's why when you were telling the story about like doing videos, I was like, yeah, because you told the story about like you've only been with chicks that were with other chicks, and then the guy in the room, you got uncomfortable. Anyway, but also I just released a comedy special / one woman show, a unique comedy performance as called The Whole Story. It's on Amazon Prime. You can go watch both those things free. Thank you so much for tuning in here at the Liars Club.
And what happened?
What do you mean? What happened?
Who's been what?
I've been lied to, and so have you.
She's going to kill you for
I
changing
know,
that.
I know.